Good evening again, my friends. My name is Rainer. This is Rainier Books, and I'm broadcasting. I'm recording this in Stockholm, in a suburb of Stockholm, Sweden. I actually work in the center of Stockholm. And why do I speak so much about Stockholm? Yes, because in 12 hours and 4 minutes from now, Mats Malm, the speaker of the committee that is awarding the Nobel Prize in Literature 2025, Mats Malm will step out of this office in Börshuset, which is only 1.2 kilometers away from my office where I work. That's a 20-minute walk. And he will tell the world, he will tell us who wins the Nobel Prize, which is regarded as the highest literary award that you can win. It is the highest literary award in amount of money, definitely. It's 1 million euros, which currently is 1.2 million American dollars, or something like 900 or 800,000 pounds in England. Last year, the prize went to the South Korean author Han Kang, the first time that the Korean language was awarded. Before that, we had the win of Jon Fosse from Norway, from our western neighbors. There was Annie Ernaux from France in 2022, and Abdul Razak Gurnah from England in 2021, the American Louis Gluck in 2020. Since 2017, men have always won in uneven years and women won in even years. But usually, actually, for the Nobel Literature Prize, for the award, men are absolutely hugely dominating this award. In the years from 1901, when the prize was awarded for the first time, we had several years during the wars where the prize was not awarded. A total of 121 persons have won the Nobel Prize for Literature, and 103 of them, believe it or not, were men and only 18 women, which makes men completely dominate the award with 85.12%. The average winner is quite old. It's quite a bit old. I would be young if I won the Nobel Prize tomorrow. The average winner was 66 years old. The youngest winner was in 1907, the British author Rudyard Kipling. He won being only 41 years old, and 100 years later, exactly in 2007, another British author, Doris Lessing, won the Nobel Prize being 87 years old. 4-time in its history, the Nobel Committee gave the award to 2 writers, and that was in 1904 and 1917 and 1966, and the last time actually 51 years ago in 1974, when 2 Swedish writers that you probably don't know, Eyvind Johnson and Harry Martinson, won the Nobel Prize. Very controversial in the last decade was the victory and the win of Bob Dylan in 2016, which I actually liked because I think Bob Dylan has written amazing poetry in his songs. But many literary critics here in Sweden and professors and scholars were really almost feeling bad about this and gotten angry about it because they said, how can a pop singer win this award? Well, if you look statistically from 2000 to 2024, the last 24 years, you have English as the language in which the authors are writing in, awarded 8 times between 2000 and 2024. And it's not followed. It's French had 3 times, German 2 times, Polish, Russian, Norwegian, and Korean 1 time. So English is completely dominating this award. The geographic rotation looks also very European-centered. 14 times the prize went to Europe in these 24 years, 3 times to Asia, 2 times to Africa, and 6 times to the so-called Americas, which is North and South America. If you look at the list of the betting companies in England, you can bet on everything. And the betting companies in England, they have another pop singer this year actually on the list, which allows me to sing one of his songs. It's very difficult for me to. Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my back. So we bought a pack of cigarettes and Mrs. Wagner pies and walked off to look for America. Laughing on the bus, playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. I said, be careful, his bow tie is really a camera. Have you recognized who that is? Yes, Paul Simon in the betting offices in England. If you pay £1 in England and bet on Paul Simon, you will get £50 back. But I don't think that Paul Simon has a chance of winning the Nobel Literature Prize tomorrow. But it's funny that he's on the list, and I actually like it. The favorite for the bookies in England at Betson is the 86-year-old Australian author Gerald Murnane. I have never read anything of him, whose 1982 novel The Plains might get him the award, only 53 years after its publication. And that is actually why I don't like this prize so much, to be quite honest, because it is somehow a lifetime achievement award, the Nobel Prize for Literature, and not so much a prize for the current world champion in literature. It's more like a lifetime achievement, and everybody, there's so many authors who could win this. If you look at these lists, Unibet pays 7-1 for Murnane from Australia. They also pay 7-1 for the Hungarian author László Krasznahorkai, who's only 71 years old. Another apparent favorite is Romania's Mircea Cărtărescu, third with 12-1. Even with many times mentioned, in many years mentioned, Japanese veteran Haruki Murakami. Actually, the last author who wrote in Japanese and won the Nobel Prize was Kensaburo Oe in 1994. That's 31 years ago. We also have India's Amitav Ghosh. He's on the list, on Unibet's list. And American Thomas Pynchon, who is 88 years old. He could, if he wins tomorrow, break Doris Lessing's old record from 2007 of being the oldest Nobel laureate. Salman Rushdie, of course, has been mentioned repeatedly in many years. Other English-speaking authors who could win, according to the betting offices, are Canadian poet Anne Carson, Antiguan-American author Jamaica Kincaid, Canada's authors Michael Ondaatje or Margaret Atwood, of course, Australia's Alexis Wright, then a lot of Americans, Don DeLillo, Marilyn Robinson, Joyce Carol Oates, and even a young one like Colson Whitehead, and many other authors. Anything, it's possible. It's always a compromise in the committee who wins. It is often commercial, I think, and not bad if the winner has already been published in a Swedish publishing company for the home market here in Sweden. Don't underestimate that. I asked ChatGPT tonight, and it predicts Romanian Mircea Cărtărescu, who was really also on BookTube quite prevalent in the last year with his novel Solenoid. Can I make a wish? Because I want to read more from my shelves here, and one author who's also mentioned again in 2025, who I beg the Nobel Prize Committee to make the winner of tomorrow, is a Portuguese guy. His name is Antonio Lobo Antunes, because I have 3 books of him. I haven't read a single one, called Am anderen Ufer des Flusses in German, on the other side of the Am anderen Ufer des Meeres, on the other side of the sea. Very often he's writing about the colonial history of Portugal, and this has to do with the former colony of Angola. And as well as this novel called Fado Alexandrino, you can see that Antonio Lobo Antunes is always writing what I call brick books, 716 pages for Fado Alexandrino. And this German one that I have here also has 441 pages. So my, not guess, but my hope would be Antonio Lobo Antunes. Who is your favorite? Who's your hope for tomorrow? Who's on your shelves that you haven't read and want to read and could win the Nobel Prize and then motivate you to read it? Please tell me in the comments below. In 12 hours from now, we know who the winner is. And I wish you a good night here from Stockholm, Sweden, and hope to see you soon in another one on this channel. So I say just enjoy yourself and see you later. Bye-bye.